And now it's time for another Booze and News top story. All right, our top story this week is going to be. You want to announce it, Albert?
No, I forgot what it is.
You picked it. It's Joe Biden falling off his bicycle.
Oh yeah.
Um, let's pull up the little clip of it here. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody's probably already seen it a million times.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, there he goes. Down he goes. Now I don't know. Did you watch a lot of this clip?
I've seen the clip. Yeah, there's not really much to watch.
Yeah, there's not much to it. There he goes down.
I think so. I think the funny thing here and the sad thing here, unfortunately, is that it kind of just this moment in time just sort of signifies what everyone has already been making fun of Joe Biden about since the beginning,
Yeah.
which is that he's an old motherfucker who doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And you put him on a bicycle, and then he stops riding, and all he has to do is just stand there,
Mm.
and he falls.
Now.
So,
Yeah.
and it just doesn't help with his look at all.
No.
And that's whose ever idea was it to put him on a bicycle is an idiot.
All right. Well, I got mixed things to say about this. First thing I'm gonna say before we get into. Well, yeah, it does add fuel to the fire that he's an incompetent old buffoon, right?
Right.
But I will say this: when was the last time you rode a bike, Albert?
It's been a minute.
And Trump came out and was immediately like, "Well, you'll never catch me on a bike," and it's like, "No fucking shit, you fucking egg-shaped Humpty Dumpty motherfucker."
Well, exactly, because he knows. Look, because he knows he's barely able to walk, and
Right.
Biden can barely speak, and he barely walks as well. I mean,
No, but actually,
I don't. It may
well,
not be. This may not be his fault. I think this is a publisher's fault or
no,
someone's
no,
idea to put him on a bike to make him
no.
look
Here's
young or whatever.
the thing. I do think that that's part of what they're going for. It was a stunt to make him look younger. But Biden's 79 years old. For 79, he's in pretty fucking good shape. Okay. There's not a lot of 79-year-olds who can go around riding a bike. Now, I ride my bike a lot, as you know. I wish I rode it more. But what he had on his bike were these things that you get in road bikes sometimes or on racing bikes that you clip your feet into, right? I will say this. I have struggled with those before and fallen over using those. Because if you're a little fatigued, you have to unhook your foot, get it out of this stirrup, right? To even
Right.
get out of the fucking thing. And it's not as just easy as just pulling your foot off a pedal and sitting on the ground. You can see it in the clip. He had to pull it out and he got tangled up, you know?
So
Why he had those, I don't know,
right.
but it does add a complication to
So
riding a bike.
what I want to know now is the history of him on bikes,
Yeah.
because this could be very interesting. If he hasn't rode a bike in years, and when he did, it wasn't one of these kind of
Racing
these
bikes, yeah.
racing yard going the extra mile track bike, whatever the fuck it's called.
Hmm.
Then that means that somebody put him on that bike for whatever reason,
Hmm.
or wanted to give the impression that he's one of these cool, hip, white, rich dudes that goes around on these bicycles that
Hmm.
you see in neighborhoods with the helmet and all that bullshit.
Hmm.
Um, and it was a mistake and should just happen. But if you think about it, it would have made him look weak to be on some, you know, laid back.
Cruiser, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 100% right. So I believe the stirrups were probably a bad idea. My suspicion, I don't know, but is probably that's a bike that he had from, I don't know, 10 years ago when he was a little bit more fit, that he would ride around. But like I
That's
said,
what I want to know. I want to know if he used to be one of these types of bike people
well,
before. That's what I want to know.
he's definitely not in bad shape. I can just tell you that by looking at him and watching him over the years. I know that he does jog and bike and shit like that, exercises. Unlike Trump, who doesn't even fucking walk. Like they were giving him shit at some convention he was at. He was just taking a golf cart everywhere.
Right. Well, Trump was known to be unhealthy, and I don't think I ever looked at Biden and thought he was a healthy guy. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with your statement because I'm not an expert on health.
He's 79. I mean, how old's your grandpa in his 80s? I mean, you got to compare it to that.
He's not overweight like Trump, but that doesn't mean that he's healthy though and able-bound, in my opinion.
Well,
because he doesn't have a big old fat gut, I think he could still be unhealthy and not able to carry himself properly. Anyway, I think someone made a big mistake. I don't think Biden would have naturally been on that track that bike.
But did you see he was fine? That's the other thing. Like, he didn't break his hip. Everyone was like, well, it's a fall risk or whatever. Like, dude, the motherfucker stood right up and was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
So I think the problem with the fucking whole bike fiasco is that everyone's gonna blow it out of proportion and go, look at this old fuck. You know what I mean? And look, we wouldn't have this problem, Albert, if we put a fucking age limit on how old you could be to be president. You know what I mean? There's already an age limit. You have to be a certain age to run for president. How come there's no certain age you have to be that you can't be president? Doesn't make any fucking sense. So it can't be
100%.
If it's ageist one way, it has to be ageist the other way. You know what I mean? So
I agree with you. I think there should be a middle ground where you're too young, and then the other thing is you're too old. You need to be somewhere in the middle. I think because there's evidence that says a large amount of people at a certain age start to lose their mind and get dementia. Why risk having a president with those issues? They should just cut the age off at a certain time frame, and but they don't want to do that.
I agree with you.
That's because a bunch of these old fuckheads that have been running shit. They all have. Look, if one person just had mental issues, it would be like kick this guy out. But when everyone has a mental issue due to being old, no one's going to kick anybody out. So we gotta.
Nobody wants to give away any of their power. Like, I was watching on the Bill Maher show. He was bitching about millennials, and he's like, "Well, we just don't want to give you anything because you're going to fuck it all up." And it's like, all right, Grandpa, like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? You can't even remember what's going on. Thanks for watching. Follow Booze and News on Twitch. We live stream Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you enjoyed this video, click that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified when we put up new content. Cheers.